เล่นเนื้อเรื่องต่อจึงเป็นหมดแล้วมั้งเนี่ยร้อนมากอะไรแอร์จะเปิด
Look at the palisades. The machines of war, too many to count.
I cannot fathom it. Has Nilfgaard sent all its forces into Lyria?
No, Your Grace. But a single army.
Gods protect us.
The Queen uttered a juicy curse. Dragvograd stood before them, Nilfgaardians all round it, 3, perhaps 4 battalions of armoured infantry, arbalists and cavalry behind them. Trebuchet volleys had punched holes in the walls, while battering rams had twisted the main gate open. But elsewise, the city was mere moments from falling to the foe.
Doomed! We stand not a chance. Nilfgaard outnumbered us twofold. More!
Then our men must put double the spirit into the fight, double the heart. Lyria!
Emboldened by their valiant queen and commander, the Lyrians charged headlong at Nilfgaard's lines into a hail of bolts and arrows.
Story battle
Attack! Rid this city of all black-clad filth!
Your Grace, I see the commander. We must train our efforts on him.
Eddard Fane!
Oh. โหลด1ทุกๆเทิร์น
Army's a waste of time for one like me.
Hey, Nicolas!
ลืมฆ่ามัน
One bolt.
To me, Nicolas! Time I taught you some respect.
Give me a time. Left, right, left, right.
You can try to win them all, but you won't.
านการ์ดถูกอัลเทโล
One man's battlefield is another man's ripe patch for harvest.
Tell me you jest.
1 2 3 4 5 6 7
Again and again and again.
This harvest will be reaping black-clad heads.
Company! Forward march!
Arbalist at your command.
Army's a waste of time for one like me.
Ha!
เรียบร้อย
They retreat! Your Majesty, the city's ours!
เอาอินทีเดียว
The Nilfgaardians fled in panic, abandoning war machines, shields, and arms, even their wounded. The defenders rejoiced. They laughed boisterously, and cries of delight and chanting could be heard all around. Warrior Queen, they shouted. Meve, Meve, Meve!
Hear that, Your Grace.
I do. No sound rings more lovely to a ruler's ear. Yet rest on our laurels we cannot. Caldwell, the situation in the town, what can you tell me?
Wall breached. Thrice. 400 wounded, near 1,000 without roofs over their heads. All nothing compared to the grain stores. Went up in smoke during the siege. And in some time yet afore the harvest. Your Grace, the war's just begun, I know. All coins should bolster the army, yet if we leave the folk of Dragvograd no gold, there will be hunger, with all the attendant discord.
โอ้
The drought of 1258 I remember all too well. I saw famine, what it drives folk to do, the extremes. A strong army I need desperately, yet not at all costs. The townsfolk need gold to survive till the harvest. Count how much, then give it to the garrison commander.
As you command, Your Grace?
The battle we've won, there's just the war that remains. And Nilfgaard will strike again, doubt it not. We must move on. Caldwell, ride ahead to Lyria. My son must call a gathering of the Council of Peers. Tell him so. We'll have much to discuss. Reynard and I will follow with the troops. We shall seek out any Nilfgaardian stragglers, prevent them from rejoining the main force.
Oosh.
Meve's two adjutants bowed and left the queen to think. She was hungry, sore from the fight, spent. Yet sensing her soldiers' eyes upon her, she set off for the stable, her gait brisk, her head held high.
เดี๋ยวข้ามมาตรงนี้เองไม่ใช่
Guardian boot. Kings and Emperors fight. Your Majesty, you saved us. Kings and Emperors fight. Leave it coming. Kings and Emperors fight.
Why?
'Golden armor'!
Neve stood surrounded by advisors, discussing, when all at once they heard a mighty thud.
Bloody hell!
They looked to see a cavalryman who'd clearly fallen from his saddle. The men who'd witnessed the blunder began to jest, only to choke on their laughter as the wretch, having risen to his hands and knees, began to shake and vomit blood. The medic's diagnosis: poison. In spite of his best efforts, the cavalryman breathed his last that very night. Soon, several other riders developed the same symptoms, and at the last shared their comrade's fate. All were buried at the roadside, beneath an old willow.
This looks to be no coincidence,
Reynard said gravely.
Our stores of water. Someone's poisoned them. We must find the fiend. In the interim, Your Majesty must quench her thirst with wine.
My lady, a strange boat floated past. I thought it imperial, but it flew not black sails, but red ones. Deep red, like blood. Where's Yanko? 'Twere dawn I sent him into the fields, but he's not returned. Where's Yanko?
astrologers, Oh, Nilfgaard. The shadow of death's fallen, or the shadow of death.
Horns sounded. Meve recognized them at once as those of the Lyrian vanguard. She drew her sword and prepared to face the invader. Yet coming down upon her force were not Nilfgaardians, but bearded warriors clad in leather, horned helmets on their heads. This was not so. The Queen could not believe her eyes.
Skelligan raiders? This far inland?
But this was no time to be bewildered. Meve spurred her horse. It neighed and reared, and then the twain leapt into the fray.
Special battle กดผิด
Reynard, what the devil? Sea raiders here!
Got any victuals? Hungry like a wolf, I am.
Let us put our steel to the test! Ario's been chosen. The gods speak to him. Again and again and again.
We'll ransack your temples! Wipe ourselves on your investments!
Should've listened to me, old lady.
Tell me you jest.
One boat's all I need.
the ring won't come off, just take the whole finger.
นี่ชนะแน่เลย
Sailed into troubled waters, mate.
Give me a time.
Gods are blowing fair winds today.
Discipline shall bring us victory!
You've got stones wet.
Older Blackhand's taking on new swabbies. What do you say?
ไม่สามารถฆ่ามันได้
You wanna pass, you gotta pay. Can't let you through elseways.
อยู่ลอสเซนลาวด้วยเอาไหม
Reynard, what the devil? Sea Raiders here!
You can try to win them all, but you won't.
The gods are with us!
After different ally is pair of can or move
Let us put our steel to the test! My spirit's willing and how, but these damn boots are killing me.
We'll ransack your temples! Wipe ourselves on your vestments!
There's a time to reap, a time to sow, and a time to die.
One boat.
You've sailed into troubled waters, mate.
Again and again and again.
Give us all you got!
Aye.
Her Majesty knows what she's doing.
Army's a waste of time for one like me.
You've got stones, wench.
Gods are blowing fair winds the day.
Give me a target. Arbalist at your command.
I only loot corpses, except sometimes they're quite fresh.
Older Blackhand's taking on new swabbies. What do you say?
ฆ่าไม่ได้
The Skelligers fought hard, fought bravely, brought mayhem. Yet the Queen's ordered, disciplined force won the day. The islanders seemed entirely undismayed at their defeat. A trait of theirs, I must admit, I've ever admired.
Well, you're right scrappy for landlubbers. Lippy Gudmund applauds you for your pluck, Queen. When we sup, me and the lads will drink your health.
That we shall yet see, sir. We must know.
เอ้ย
What brings you this far inland? What drove you from the sea?
Meve asked, crossing her arms.
Ha! What always drives us? Looting and pillaging. The coast's picked clean since long, so we set our longships up the Yaruga for gold and glory!
Amusing. I always assumed you to be honourable folk.
And who dares to claim elsewise?
Your very actions do so. You've attacked a land preoccupied, a land already at war with invaders, but I suppose it makes sense. You've ever feared to attack Imperials.
The Queen prodded gently.
What did you say, wench?
Gudmund had quickly turned red with rage.
I'll prove just how wrong you are, I will! Why, we'll be drinking mead from Nilfgaardian helmets for sundown! Follow me, lads!
Meve smiled as she watched the islanders gather their gear and prepare to march. She doubted not in the least that Gudmund would honor his pledge.
Oh, นอกบ้าน
Here the damage seems not so great.
It appears Nilfgaard's not yet turned its forces towards the capital. We're likely to encounter no more than pathfinders and foragers.
So I hope.
Puzzle
Give me a time.
Use this. Not sure for what just yet, but...
Can't take it anymore. Obelisk to your command.
If the ring won't come off, just take the whole finger.
Her Majesty knows what she's doing.
Hmm? อะไรวะงง
Give me a time.
One man's battlefield is another man's ripe patch for harvest.
Obelisk to your command.
You can try to win them all, but you won't.
Oh, I'd be ashamed to let this beauty go to waste.
Her Majesty knows what she's doing.
Limit of flow. If that here more copy unit combined. If there are 3 or more laser. ยังไงอ่ะฆ่าตาได้มา2
You can try to win them all, but you won't.
One vote I need.
We must trust each other.
Okay.
I only use corpses, but sometimes they're quite fresh.
Ooh. อะไรเยอะแยะวิ่งกลับไปใหญ่มาก
The Nilfgaardian invasion necessitated certain steps. Neve had dispatched scrolls to her garrison commanders, based upon which they were to announce general musters. She'd hoped that by the time she reached Krydam, fresh recruits would be waiting to join her growing force. Alas, the commander of this fort, one Sergeant Griggs, had only bad news.
Your Majesty, I've not the numbers to man the walls even. The call to arms brings few new recruits and more men desert each day. Folk are terrified something awful. They don't believe in victory.
They don't believe in victory?
The Queen rose from behind the table, toppling her chair.
Then let them hear how I smashed the Blacklads at Dragvograd.
Quick as can be, the commander gathered all Krydam's inhabitants in the central square. Neve stepped out in front of the crowd and recounted her most recent victory. The folk of Krydam listened with bated breath.
And so, we must stand together. Fight, arm in arm. Be a wall against which black-clad hordes will be dashed.
The townsfolk responded with thunderous applause, yet enthusiasm is rarely long-lived. That born of Neve's fiery words had dispersed after but a few days. No new volunteers joined the garrison, and the townsfolk hid from Sergeant Griggs to avoid being pressed into service. Neither the town's nor the Queen's own company were reinforced, and Neve left Krydam angry as a wasp.
No will to fight amongst the common folk. No will, no spirit at all. You see the dregs I got to endure this. Yellow-bellied cowards and shirkers, that's who. You see the
A contract on a monster. Interesting.
ว่าไทยมันเต็มเลยทำไม่ได้บังไม่รู้หวานไม้
As Meave and company traversed the ruddy meadows, strident voices reached their ears.
I beg your pardon. I've heard enough. A duel. I challenge you to a duel.
A duel? Nonsense. I'd sooner lay you across my lap and give your ass a thorough flailing, you scoundrel.
The Queen approached the arguing parties. Two nobles, Lords Cartwright and Mansfield. Quickly, she ascertained they were up in arms over ownership of an orchard lying between their estates. Assisting both nobles, their kinsmen, armed to the teeth, prepared to leap at each other and crush heads. Upon spotting Meave, the lords lowered their voices, bowed and presented themselves. Yet they could not keep their ire fettered long and were soon casting aspersions again.
Your Grace, Mansfield has seized it. No, stolen my land. Land that has been in my family for generations.
It is my recompense for your reckless deeds. To burn down me mill in Furton for a bit of sawdust in your flour? Well, I never.
A bit? Oh, let me at him. Farman's taken ill, cook's feverish, all from that manure. You are a fraud, sir. A fraud and a thief.
Though she faced the not at all trifling matter of the Nilfgaardian invasion, Meave agreed to settle the dispute. Reynard, who knew the history of every Lyrian and Rivian family 7 generations back, served as her advisor.
No doubt I would find for the Cartwrights. They are in the right here as regards the title to the land. Yet your grace must consider the Mansfields have ever served the crown and never delayed payment of tribute. Whereas the Cartwrights are litigious charlatans who owe the royal treasury thousands, many thousands.
From what I've gathered, you've both burdens on your conscience,
said the Queen.
And I've neither the time nor the inclination to ascertain who started this feud. You will split the orchard in two, make do with half a piece.
But my Queen!
Should my judgment displease you, Mansfield, I can always incorporate the land into the crown.
The Queen's threat silenced the feuding lords, yet it failed to bring their conflict to a close. In a few years' time, they were at one another's throats yet again.
You bloated ass bladder! We'd have managed it ourselves, I told you. But no. Judgment. You had to have judgment. You demanded it. You bloated ass bladder.
Lady, something's wrong with Alex Ravine. They heard whims and screams at first. How all's gone silent. Why ever do the gods punish us so? To be cast out by Nilfgaard, and now to face beasts.
Night on the High Road, a day before last, claimed the beasts called a...
Lady, something's wrong.
Kill the white one. Lippy.
Obelisk to your command. I'm a horse.
You can try to win them all, but you won't.
Discipline shall bring us victory!
What?
Got any victuals? Hungry like a wolf, I am.
Oi, it.
Give me a time.
Her Majesty is exceptional.
Yay.
Well, a worm, just as I said. Now who's addled in the head, eh? Well.
57 นาทีแล้ว
Why ever do the gods punish us so?
On their way to the capital, Meave and company happened one fine day upon a lone rider. Had I been at her side, I would immediately have recognized his passionate gaze and altogether chivalrous mien.
Identify yourself, sir, and your intent.
Ach of Denel I am dubbed, and my design I never conceal. The good book says the world is a garden which the gods once conferred upon man, and we men have this garden neglected. In consequence, all manner of filth has made its lair here. Drowners, ghouls, and other kobolds. I have sworn ne'er to rest until the day when, with the gods' help, I have rid the world of these beasts and pests. I wander all lands, seeking out evil and facing it in mortal combat.
Who do we spy? A knight errant?
Just as likely a madman. How goes your hunt? Caught the trail of any monster?
Monster? Too fair a term by far. An exceptionally vile worm has made its lair in nearby caverns. It is said to be the very distillation of filth. A slither in horror. A melange of the macabre. Its head, that of a wild cat of Ophir. Its maw full of spiked teeth. The wings of a bat it is said to have. The tail of a scorpion, and from it, a thick venom drips. Learned men call this variety a manticore, or mardiacore.
Perhaps it will be most prudent, then, to send for a witcher.
A witcher? Soulless automatons they are, all, feeding on common folks' fears. What they demand gold to do, I perform without demand of any coin.
โอ้หล่อมาก
Sir Ach, far be it from me to discourage you. Your endeavor is noble, no doubt. But from what I have heard, manticores are exceedingly dangerous beasts.
To defeat this filth alone could be a difficult task, I'll not deny. Yet try it I must, for it is what I have sworn before the gods.
We shall help you find and fight the manticore, provided you then pledge to help us fight an even fiercer and filthier beast.
Of course, my lady. Yet what manner of horror is it? A viper? A griffin? A drake of some rare form?
Were it only. 'Tis a beast of 1,000 heads, covered in black armor, its fire consuming whole villages.
Noble lady, I know bestiary is only in parts, yet I've seen some of the world, and never have I heard of such a terror.
You need but look about you, and spot Nilfgaard's legions.
Devastating. But you must forgive me, Your Grace. This struggle between realms is not one to which I can lay a hand.
If such is your view, I shall not insist. The care you show for my folk I greatly appreciate, Sir Ach of Denel. Godspeed.
And to you, Your Majesty.
อยากสู้นะแมนติคอร์
Not a scrap.
โอ้ข้างหน้ามีมังกรอะไรอยู่ตรงนั้นด้วย
Not a scrap. Nothing to bury. Bloodsoulers left behind. A whole village. Hallowed, mother. Look, not a scrap.
golden sons belongs to the side of it onset. Nilfgaardians make for good prisoners, good slaves too. They got black shells, but their meat inside's red. One of them golden sons.
Hoarder เรียนสิบทิ้งเฟรดยากจัง
What's a folk moving about, boy? Fairlivia is our own land, charming, fertile and grand. Is your majesty also bound for the river, to camp there perchance? Is your majesty...
One evening, soldiers brought before Meve the elf she had saved from a lynching. It seemed he had been the fiend who had poisoned the water barrels from which several soldiers had drunk, then suffered and died.
Yes, I did it. And I regret it not one bit.
Seethed the elf.
Nilfgaardian, Temerian, some brute from Lyria, you Dwan are all alike. I detest you. All of you, you're filth for what you wrought with my brethren. I'm proud. I am that even a few of your kind perished at my hand. Hail and Shay.
Meve pursed her lips into a thin white line. Reynard knew the expression. It did.
I should drag you to the capital. Hang you high in the market square.
Meve said through gritted teeth.
Yet this you would want. Am I right? For your folk to speak of you? For your folk to remember? Well, you shan't have it. You'll hang here, in the middle of nowhere, with but crows to witness it and then pick at your eyes.
It was a summary execution. No sentence was read, no last wish observed. The elf's corpse then hung long at the roadside, as none came forth to claim and bury it.
เหรอคำตอบของการเป็นคนดีของเรา
We welcome you home, Your Majesty. Prince Willem awaits your return, Your Grace.
โอเคก็เดี๋ยวเราจะจบวิดีโอนี้แค่นี้แล้วเดี๋ยวจะอัดต่อเลยเขาเป็นเหมือน
Yes, Your Grace?
It's time I attended to